Sangham and John in the house on this Monday, March 6th.
Another day, another day.
What is going on, John?
Well, another day, another day. Start of the week, Monday. We got Monday, rolling into Monday, following that big week.
I'll tell you what, did you enjoy your weekend?
I did not. I had to work.
You had to work. I had to work too. You know, that's my weekend shift.
I had to work.
A little rough day yesterday, man. Rough.
Yeah, it felt like that.
I had 3 call outs. So had to be a working supervisor yesterday. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. I like trading better.
Yeah, one day.
Trading better.
Not bad. You could trade it and work. I don't find work an inconvenience. I obviously have to work because of medical benefits, but
yep.
I like my job. I really do. I do like my job, but you know, you get tired. That's the only thing. You just get once in a while. You just get tired, and it's normal. Well, mostly because I watched the fight. I'll tell you that right now. Let me be honest. Let me be honest. I stood up on Saturday watching the UFC fight. I mean, if anybody watched the fight, it was Jones versus I forgot the other guy's name. It didn't matter because it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds that I literally waited for.
Man, it sounds like my play today.
It started like 8 o'clock.
Woo!
Just that fast, really.
Knocked it out. Knocked it out of the park. All right, I won't take it away.
All right, let's just
get in the charge.
Anyway, I stood up. I'm tired. I was tired last night. I haven't recovered from the fight. I stood up pretty late and I drank. So, regardless if I worked or not, I should have been sleeping, not watching the fight. Anyway, last night I wasn't able to trade, but last night was a good trade. Let's just look at the chart again. Let's start with the yearly. Here goes the yearly. Now we got this big explosion down here. And today I did put what we had here and what we have been talking about. That here goes last month's high, last month's halfback, going into March. Going into March, we dip under and we recover. That is literally basically our 6 a.m. play right there, possibly right there, 6 a.m. 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whichever you're at. 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Eastern. But right here is almost the same thing it does on the daily basis. Anyway, we had talked about this play. We had talked about a dip into March and then recovering. Recovering what? The low, the previous low. If this is halfback and we're holding, guess what that becomes? A low. Going into March, that is our low. And guess where we shot up to today? We went straight for 3 days. 1, 2, 3. You could get paid 5 to 10 points here, 5 or 10 points here. Definitely.
Everybody get points.
I mean, they're handing out checks.
Woo! Handing out checks. That's
on the way up. Right to this monthly that we talked about in the recap. We've been talking about the recap right here, that this is the area that is going to go and make a decision. We also talked about this little gap that it had created. If you see us, I put a gap up here. But if you look at the dates, this is the 21st. This is the 17th. If you count these days, there's only 4 days. There's 4 days between these 2 days. That every weekend is literally only 2 days. There's a day missing in here. And that day is Monday, the holiday, which was a half a day. And they sold it down on that day, which was the extra move down to where we thought it was going to go. Remember, in time, they held price up here for 12 days. And down here, we're literally going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And we're almost back up here. We did see that dreaded 12 again. And we're back up here. And I won't be surprised to see 12 again as we decline from these highs. I did point out this gap in the chart today. And I did point out that we were at this price right here, which was very important. As you see, it's 40.77. I did mark that on the chart, and I told you guys in the chat, 40.77 is very important. And the reason for that is that if we hit the low and we go to halfback, we're probably going to get a pullback from him. And that is exactly what he rolled into. Yep. Let's bring it down to a smaller time frame. Let's go to a 4 hour. And let's see all the checks that we're handing out on the 4 hour. As you see, There has not been that many red candles on this.
We seeing a 15-minute chart.
Oh my God, the wrong chart again. There we go, 4 hours. Here we go. Here goes the 4 hour as it's made its way from the bottom up into Friday into Sunday. As you see, we did hold the high at Sunday. We held the high. We dipped under and held the high, and then we held the half back of this candle right here, as you see, right here, held half back, and then we traded at the highs. At the highs, we already tested half back. So the possibility of this breaking out was very likely. The fact that we already tested half back and we were at the highs going into New York. As you see, we went straight up to the highs and we hit that here on the monthly. It's all the way up there, but the line is really right here at 77, which we hit directly. Now let's go into a 15-minute. And as you see, one red candle, two red candles, and then we have a red candle going into the day, sweeping the open price. Very interesting. Tomorrow we got Powell talking all week.
Hey, we still seeing a 15-minute chart.
God damn. What am I doing wrong? For real? That ain't a 15-minute chart.
I'm looking at a 15-minute chart.
How's that possible? No way.
Yes, 15-minute chart, 5 days.
Oh my God, why does it say that? That's weird. It literally says 3 right here, and it's going to 15. Hold on, let me change the time on it. I don't understand why it's doing that. So this is the 15-minute chart now?
I'm looking at a 15-minute. Let's try it again. Let's try to go back and
I'm just gonna change the time. Here.
Try to share now.
You think it got frozen?
It may have.
Oh, hold on. What about now?
Now I see number 4.
Number 4. Okay. I switched it over. Let's stay with this chart.
Yeah, see the 4 hour.
Okay. I did change it back to the 4 hour, but all right. So we have one red candle. We dipped under on Friday, right? Friday, and they bought it up. Same, almost the same scenario that happened here. Set. We did not dip under that 4 hour candle. This is the 4 hour candle right here. And we dipped a little bit. We held half back of the candle going into Monday. And we literally traded at the highs of this 4 hour candle. Once we traded at that 4 hour candle, the highs, it held the daily right here, and we literally took off of it. If I go back to the daily candles, that's literally the daily that it held today. Which let me put it on the chart so you can see what I'm talking about. It was important to actually have that oh no, it was a halfback. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I had it marked and I cleaned up the charts. So it was this halfback, which was the 45 that was target for Friday. And then we traded above it. We came back and held that. And as you see, we almost got close to sweeping that high on a 4 hour. I mean, on a day.
Yeah, not there yet.
Yeah, not there yet. But what did we hit? We hit our target from the downside right here. So even though this might have been a target, this supersedes it because of the fact that we bounced off a low and we were going to halfback. So when people were aiming to sweep this high, everybody was selling into this.
Yep, right here's target.
And that's the difference between price, which is, can you put a star right here, Dobbs?
Star?
Right here on this. This is price. And this right here is time. That is a big difference. Because this is related with time. If I go back to the chart, and I'll show you the daily right now, this is very important. This is why this chart, I showed this chart from January, I think, right, Dobbs?
Yeah.
Now, if I get rid of this, I get rid of that study, you have nothing, right? This is price, this is a 50% pullback right here from the highs, from all these lows right here, wicks or closing of candles. This is 50%. This is the illusion that the market will give you, that here was a buy. People were buying here. People were buying at the 200 here. We dipped under the 200 here. At this time, we dipped and we held something. We held time. We did not hold price here. We held time.
Very important. Very important.
It's a big difference. So when it goes up and you're looking for a target up there, you got to understand that that is a price target that didn't hit. This is time and that's time. Monthly has that.
Yep.
And that's why we show the charts. That's why I was showing the charts. That's why I said, be careful at that price. I literally said that in the chat, be careful at that price. And when that price hit, I literally put up a chart, and I think one or two guys got it, that they were like, oh, I see what you're doing. And it literally worked out perfectly. Let's go on a 15-minute now, and let's describe that. Disregard this blues candles right here. The blues clues candles right here. Like I said,
yeah.
Look, this is the 45, right? So he had a lot of opportunities saying that, hey, we're not going under 45. This is Asia opens up, right? We dip under, we hit our range here, and it became up that we went above the halfback of it, right? And going into time, right here, going into time, the move down already happened. It was a good sell. But going into time, we flipped it the other way, right? And when we flipped it the other way, this paid you big. Then we went above our range, and going into midnight, it became a sell. Guess where it returned back to? The same prices here that held up, our halfback. And literally going into this 5 a.m. 5 a.m. candle right here, and 6 or 7, the 6 and 7 setup, this just literally took off to the highs. We went above the range again, and at the open, New York told you, right here on this candle, I think. New York told you at this, wait, was it there? No, it was on this candle. No, it was on this candle. New York told you in this candle that we're breaking this range. Literally, we're breaking this range. They literally said we're breaking the range right here. That's what we talked about when it hits that price and you see price go in the opposite direction. Because what should have really happened, if we were going to the downside, we had targets already set up for the downside, but we have targets up and down depending on what the market is doing. So when it came up here, and you see this come up, and it came back down under here and held here, this is breaking out of the range that we had. And we had the range right there. Everything worked out perfectly at that price. Now, we did have targets on this move up. It hit really quick, but there was another play here to take to the long side. And I said, oh, they're going for a squeeze, and we're gonna possibly see 71. 71 got hit, and when it came up here, I literally said on the chart, I said, listen, wait for London's close. Wait for London's close. This price right here is very important. I put up charts, and I put up saying like, hey, we just hit that halfback on the monthly. Be very careful up here. And when this was developing in London's close, I said, hey, if you took London's close long, you got your target. But as this candle right here, I said it, as this candle developed, I said, if we're below halfback, we're going down to what? 61. And literally we came down, hit 61 and tried to bounce off of there. And the rest of the play was coming down to what? To close the gap. I was already done for the day. I told you guys I'm done.
Yep, I was done. I was done on that drop.
The gap was
Got
right
my
here.
points and it was over.
So the gap was 0605. You see on a small time frame?
46, you mean?
Yeah, it was like 46 or something. Really,
I think I had 9 is what I had. I had 49.
I gotta go on a 5 minute. I usually use the 5 minute.
I think that's what I had, 49.
Let me use the 5 minute. I'll show you where that. I did not have that on the chart today because of what New York did. And I thought I was biased at the open too. But as soon as I saw what they were doing, I flipped it around and I told you that we stay above 53, we're going to 71. And it did exactly that. And there it goes right there. Boom, right there. So on a 5 minute, that was the gap right there. 15.55. I take it like that, and that was the gap. By this time, I was already done with this sell. I got 5 or 10 points on the way down. I did not. I don't have to ride this all the way down. I really
Nope, we don't have to. I
I
didn't.
wrote this up and I wrote this down. That was my place for the day. I was extremely tired today, so I wasn't gonna keep on. I should have left one on there, and I was, but like I said, it was just one of those days. You don't have to take it for the day.
No,
You had a good. So let's.
that's the only play that I took. Actually, you know, I ended up trading more than one account because, you know, that's my rule. I only trade one account in New York. But today, I just couldn't help myself up there, John.
There was 5 points up here at 1300. There was 5 points right here. It was guaranteed. There was 9 points here. There was 5 points at the open. Nothing went against you. There was 5 points down here. There was 5 points here. I think I was selling. I actually sold this. I did sell this. This was 5 points right here, but I didn't trade London Open. I did trade this move right here on the way down, right here. I did get this on the way down. What else did I get? I got that on the way down. I got that. I wanted to play this last night, and I was looking at it. I was like, no, I gotta go to sleep. This could be into 2300, and I was like, I'm not playing it. Sometimes you gotta be disciplined.
Yep.
And last night I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So you had one. I mean, this was literally at the open. That
was a good play at the open if you got it.
Yeah. So you had 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You had literally 40 points. Up. You had up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. So I mean, anytime in this area, if you sold, popped any highs, you literally got 10 points. In this area, once it got above here, you got this. There's a lot of points. You could get more than 10 points. Here, a little bit, you gotta be a little bit more disciplined to be sold. If you sold here, you got 5 points. Sold here, you got 5 points. You bought here, you got 5 points. You sold here, you got 5. So use a stinging line, use something. But remember, it's all time based. So if you miss the play, wait for the next play to develop. Like this play right here was good, but London's close was a good play up, and that was a good play down as well. You could play it both ways. It was a good day. Nothing's changed. We do the same thing every day, in and out. There's nothing that changes. And we post the charts before it happens, not after. Not after.
No.
There's no after here. Remember that yearly chart where it's at. We were calling that from before March 1st. So we were calling that, saying that, hey, we're gonna dip down, we're gonna come back up, and then we're gonna hit the monthly half back, which is up here. It's in the videos. If you go back on YouTube, it's in the videos. It's all there. Now the process to get there is the ones that we tweak and try to get you there to it. Remember, we don't care about the yearly. We only care about what it's doing at the time that we are trading. When somebody says it's going to go do this, I can't account for that. I have to go with what the chart is telling me at the time. And we have times that we trade, and it's perfect. And you keep on staying with that scenario that hey, I missed the play. Let me wait for the next play to develop. The play will show up for you. And if you consistently do that, you will become a profitable trader. In fact, this game will become old to you.
Matter of fact, I mean, we've got enough clocks that everybody should be able to take a play, whatever market that they're trading, whether it be Asia, London, pre-market New York, or New York. There's a reason why we use these clocks that we use, because they're consistent. The consistency is there on these clocks. So you just got to pick a clock that you can trade.
Yeah, that's why I tell you, you don't have to stay up and trade.
You just need one clock. Yeah, you don't need all the clocks.
Yeah, you don't have to stay up trading Asia. You don't have to trade New York. You can wait for London's close. Don't be fooled in the fact that it makes this huge move at New York Open, because guess what? London close gave you more money.
Yep.
And no hesitation on the way down.
Well, not so much of the no money, more money, but I mean, it was clean. It was safe and clean.
Yeah.
Safe and clean.
We traded because we've been trading for a while and we got used to it. I definitely got used to New York. New York is like my stepchild because, you know, once in a while.
It's a different beast.
Yeah,
it's a different beast.
It's hard to trade, but you have to, you
but
have
it is tradable.
Discipline.
It is tradable.
Discipline. Now, when I traded with minis. Take that for account. Before New York.
MES.
Yeah.
MES.
And I say it all the time. Start with one. Make your way up to 5 or 6. Slow process. Slow process.
But don't need New York. Don't need it.
You don't need it, but
really
you could trade it. You could trade it.
Pre-market, guaranteed. Pre-market is money. Pre-market still hasn't lost.
Yeah, whoever's trading pre-market like that London, that 6 a.m. range.
I've said it.
6 a.m. range.
Everybody should be trading that one. Everybody should be trading 6 a.m. range.
6 a.m. range will get you in there.
Into New York Open.
You can leave a runner in there too.
Set the clock. Yep. Get up. You want to get disciplined? Trade the 6 a.m. Trade that one setup.
Yeah, the best thing to do. London told us a story too that they didn't want to sell past the price neither. So past their open, they didn't want to sell. If London wanted to sell, we would have gone underneath that 45. So 5 a.m. was literally a buy. Just the fact that we held that half back on a 4 hour, you could literally see that they were going to ramp it up. Now, you know, it's a different case scenario now. What we expect is definitely a pullback. It'll probably pull back into London's open. So, but going into Asia, I do feel like it's going to pop up a little bit so they can get a nicer price. They always want to get a better price than anyone.
Just wanted to highlight the Stingham line. I mean, if you watch the live stream on Discord, it's solid, guys. If you don't know what's going on or you feel you don't know direction, Stingham line is your best friend.
So I saw that it had a great short up here. I was already telling you guys beforehand, and I don't think that thing changed. There's no reason for the indicator to change at all. So even what I showed you up here, if you took a mini, you got a great ride down. The indicator started showing at this price right here, around here. So it was there. Once you're under Stingham line, use Stingham line and say, hey, let's go. This is a 5-minute chart. Look at the 15. No, maybe you're selling right here. Half back fail. Boom. Let's go. You still get, and this is that time too right here. So this is a perfect trade right here. You get you move down. This was target from there. You hit target, and then you got the gap. If you set up right, you would have got the gap. I put this in the chart later on in the day. And we were talking about this late in the day, me and Doc, about getting here. We debated if it would hit or didn't. It was very important if it didn't. But the fact that it hit, it literally went where we thought it would. I didn't want to have this as target either going into PAL tomorrow. So I didn't want to let you guys know that there was a gap down here for certain reasons. But it did hit at the end of the day. But if you know how we trade, you would exit here. And there's no play after 1500. So even if you had a runner, maybe you got a little bit more, but after the price went back up above 1500 right here, guess what? That play is done. There is no movement back to the downside. There is no up to the high side. But it did exactly what it should be doing.
So there's one, there's two. Did we get the run up in the PAL tomorrow? We got higher lows.
It could.
Setup's possible.
Yeah, it could. It could go possible. Back. Could go back up.
Or they come down here and take out
the day was
out liquidity. Oh, everybody wants to use that word. Let's go down here and take out some liquidity, and then we're going to return back up here.
That's how it goes, right? They hunt for liquidity. I bet you they're hunting for liquidity down here. I mean, I thought we were going to pull back. I'm not going to lie, but then I saw what they did at here. I relayed the message in the chat. I say, hey, they're not doing what we thought. And the chart told it to you. So you set up like we said, you know exactly that, hey, they were breaking out, right? They were trying to break out, right?
Yep.
So they were squeezing to continue this squeeze from Friday. So literally it did what it was supposed to do here. And you could have wrote that up, and then we literally relayed why this area right here was very important before it happened. And said, hey, be very careful up there. And then I said, if this candle, literally in this candle, I said the next candle closes below half back, we're going back 61.
But that's something that we should have been anticipating.
Yes.
Yes, because of the pullback into London, because we were so close.
Yes.
So
it was a great day, easy day.
London close. 12 noon always likes to pull back into London close. That's another little tidbit, Jim.
And then there was another thing that happened at the open too. Today, New York, there was no options being traded at that open price. They were afraid that people were going to run this up into pound. So it was very, it was very soft at the open, but it was very bullish because we were above the London open range. We were above the 151 of Asia, everything, and we were above midnight price. So those three factors right there. And another key, we were above London's close range high. So that high became the low, which realistically we went right back down to. But at the time that you're looking at that New York open, you're not looking to sell because of those key factors. It's all in the setup and it was all in front of you. So if you set up and you start training your eyes to see those things, you know not to go against the trend until the trend tells you to. And literally went up there and it literally told you. I even put in the chat, how many halfbacks did we fail all day? We didn't fail halfback here. Right here, we high, low, halfback went up, right? Here, it was all the way at the highs. We came back down. Look, this is literally the same halfback right here. Hell. So yeah, it was trending downward into it. And so high, low, halfback fail. Good, right? High, low, halfback fail. Boom, right down here. So 1, 2 halfbacks, right? 2 halfbacks right here. High, and then almost a halfback right here. Held up and they took off, right? But look at here. High, low, halfback. And I said in the chat, first halfback failed right here. And it was at London's close at the highs in a gap with a monthly projected target, which was halfback. So we swept the low and hit a high. So if we're selling this in Asia, if we're like this and we're a halfback and we're selling to go low, this is literally a low. Everything there was indicating low. Because if London's close is closing up here, this is literally closing at a high. And they told you they don't want it any higher than that. Why? Because they bought the low. Remember when we go back, right? We go back all the way down here. Guess who's buying at the lows? Look at this. This is London. So if London bought the super low, are they going to be buying the high? No. Let's go to this day. Look at, who's this? London. If London bought the low from this high to this low, are they going to be buying this? No. You know, let's go to this day right here. Wait a minute. So if we held a halfback, right? We held a halfback right here into London, right? Like say London came down here and we're holding a halfback down here and London isn't selling the low. Where could they possibly be going? All the way to the high. So they let New York send it up. They didn't buy it, but they let New York send it up.
Yeah, they're in the play. I would too. They probably got a runner going from way down there.
Yeah, they got a runner from down here over here, and they're like, let's just see what New York does. And New York sent it to the high. As soon as it got up there, what did London do? Took profit and started selling because we're at the high. Remember, this was the low. This is below the low. I started buying, and then boom, we went all the way up here. Are they going to be selling here or buying? They're going to be selling here, especially if their close is up here. Now, say that their close was probably down here, they'll probably be buying. If this was inverted, and say that we got maybe down here into the close, they'll probably be buying because they're trying to get to that price. Because that was initially where they're trying to get to. But the fact that they got up here and they let New York take them up there, they're like, oh,
they're either buying lows or halfbacks.
Yeah, they're not buying this high.
Be mindful of. They're not buying highs.
Yeah, so this is a high. just like you got to put everything in perspective. It's like the Asia rays. We're at the highs. What are they possibly going to be doing? They're going to pull back to halfback. If just the same scenario here, if we reject it, if it's showing you itself, we're not just selling.
Nope.
It's right here was telling you sell.
Got to fail it, then retest it, reject.
Exactly. Right here, it failed. Like literally went up, hit it, and then it went for the fail. It went right back to the lows. So if this was the high, can the gap be the low? Yes, exactly. That's the low of New York. Why? Because it was the high of Friday. So that if this is the high, now this is the low. Understand it. All right, Dobbs. I think we're done for the day. Great day on Monday.
Plus, it showed that New York sold it. So
yeah,
and they sold it below their gap. So and now they're back above it. So
it was a good easy day. And the reason that it moved up so easily is because options were afraid of getting squeezed into Powell tomorrow. Can it still happen? Yeah, it could still happen.
Yes, it can.
All you, Dobbs.
All righty. Y'all know the drill. Knowing where prices headed is our edge. We know how the market moves, and we got to do our little risk thing here at the end. But hopefully everybody had an awesome day. Hopefully we kind of explained things a little bit better for you if you didn't understand what was going on in the chat and Discord. If anything, just keep rewatching it and study your chart and follow along. So that's pretty much it.
Cause so many time passed by, don't know why I'm losing my mind. Ego was so strong inside. At this point I just lived a lie. I wish I could tell you why. I wish I could feel you again, but I know it's too late, and I know you're away. There's a chance to apologize, nah. It's a goodbye, just a goodbye. Forever and ever, you never come back. Just a goodbye, forever goodbye. I sit in my ride, think about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I sit in my ride. So many time passed by. I saw you last time. This is my last ride. I wish we're gonna see us on the other side. This is my last ride. On the other side. It's a goodbye, just a goodbye. Forever and ever, you never come back. Just a goodbye, forever goodbye. I sit in my I got nothing to lose.